On the 13th of August, 2016, a mysterious auction appeared on the web, claiming that anyone who wanted could purchase national-level cybersecurity weapons that had been produced by none other than the American NSA, and specifically an elite hacking unit known as the Equation Group. However, the auction's rules were so strange that nobody wanted to bid. The sellers, who called themselves the Shadow Brokers, only attached a Bitcoin wallet address and stated that everyone who lost the auction wouldn't get their money back. Because of these strange rules and the password-protected files, the biggest bid was only about $9,000. The mysterious auction was a complete failure. However, these mysterious files wouldn't just disappear from the web. But before we continue, I'd like to introduce you to today's sponsor, Proton. Your email provider knows all about you. Your name, birthday, address, phone number, workplace, things you purchased, trips you went on, your passport copy. That's your data, right? Wrong. That data is being sold to advertisers. The more data you give away, the more valuable you are, like a product. Then they profile you and target you with ads. What could possibly go wrong? In 2016, Yahoo confirmed that emails of all 3 billion users were leaked. Everyone's data was up for grabs and could be used for identity theft and fraud. You don't want your life details to be in the hands of advertisers or hackers. So what can you do? Switch to Proton. Proton Mail protects your emails with an end-to-end encryption, so no one, not even Proton, can read your emails. Proton blocks marketing trackers and malware, so nobody knows if you've opened their email. Say goodbye to spam, phishing attacks, and spoofing. Proton is based in Switzerland, so you're protected by strong privacy laws. You can easily migrate your existing emails with just a couple of clicks with EasySwitch. Be one of 100 million users who have already chosen privacy. Get started for free at proton.me/thinker. Sponsors like Proton help the channel immensely, and we couldn't be more thankful for them. So if you support us and want your emails to be safe, please check them out. And let's get back to the video.
A group calling themselves the Shadow Brokers claim that they've hacked the NSA.
Mysteriously, a cache of NSA hacking tools was released online.
The Shadow Brokers sparked fears of a new group of previously unknown zero-day exploits.
We were trying to answer essentially one big question. How could a group since August of 2016 offer for sale samples of what clearly was code used inside the National Security Agency to break into foreign computer systems?
The NSA and FBI have taken this breach extremely seriously, but their inability to actually find the root cause is deeply problematic.
It's the middle of the night when one of the employees of Telefonica notices something weird on his computer screen. He quickly grabs his phone and dials his supervisor.
Hey Juan, we've got a massive problem.
Minutes later, a nurse working for the United Kingdom's National Health Services reported that her computer stopped working.
A major cyber attack forcing hospitals across the UK to turn away patients.
Ambulances were diverted to other hospitals. Operations canceled as malicious software paralyzed 16 hospital computer systems across England. Heart patient Anthony Brett was told his operation was on hold.
I was supposed to have a stent put in over the weekend, but they can't do it now because of all this computer hacking.
But this was only the beginning.
A massive cyber hack hits countries around the world, crippling tens of thousands of computers on Friday.
The so-called ransomware attack locks people out of their computers and demands money.
Experts are calling the WannaCry virus the largest cyber attack in history.
This virus has impacted Germany's national rail system as well as FedEx here in the United States.
At least 5 Australian businesses have been hit.
Today we learned of an auto assembly line that suddenly stopped because computers had shut down.
South Korea is among the 150 countries that have been affected by Friday's unprecedented malware attack, which has infected more than 200,000 computers worldwide.
The attack used a loophole exposed when stolen NSA documents were posted online. With that information, any idea who is behind the attack?
I don't think we have any real idea of that.
As the mysterious ransomware was wreaking havoc on the global economy, a cybersecurity expert called Marcus Hutchins decided to jump into the action and analyze the virus. As he roamed through the malware's code, he discovered that before the malware began its encryption process, it tried to connect to a strange URL. However, this connection failed every time, and once it didn't connect, the virus began to encrypt the infected system. It turned out that this URL was an unregistered domain. Curious about the reason for this URL's existence, Hutchins decided to risk it all by buying and registering the domain.
The ransomware that affected 99 countries and an estimated 75,000 individual computers was stopped in its tracks by accident.
He actually probably saved lives on accident just by registering this one website name in his name.
I've had people sort of inundating me with messages thanking me, saying that I'm a hero. I mean, I sort of just registered this domain for tracking, and I didn't intend for it to like sort of blow up and me to be all over the media. I was just sort of doing my job, and I don't really think that I'm a hero at all.
It turns out that WannaCry was a complex worm that had been inserted into the digital world with only one objective: to hunt for vulnerable SMB ports. An SMB port is basically a protocol that every Microsoft computer uses to send information packs from computers to printers or other machines connected on a network. And since this information is always moving around, the worm could access this flow of information and then insert itself into the communication protocol. Once inside, the worm was able to use the communication protocol's data traffic to infect the first machine. After infiltrating the machine, it created a backdoor to execute its malware and replicated itself. These new copies would go on to infect the network the machine was connected to in order to search for more vulnerable machines. And because big businesses usually have a network in which every machine is connected, it was able to quickly infect everything in their networks. The two main tools used by the worm were Eternal Blue and Double Pulsar, which had been developed by the NSA and were in fact some of the exploits that had been leaked by the shadow brokers a few weeks earlier. However, inside of this complex mesh of code, researchers working for the FBI also discovered several notes, which often contained data about the computer that created them. By using this data, they found that the original computer contained the file /fcharset129, which is the file name for the Korean alphabet. Furthermore, the time zone set for the hackers' computers was UTC plus 9 hours, which is the time zone used in Korea. Everything seemed to point to the Korean peninsula, and since South Korea is a close U.S. ally, suspicions quickly fell upon North Korea. Traces of the attack were connected to a person who went by Kim Hyo-woo, and surprisingly, all of his digital footprints pointed towards the Chinese town of Dalian. And as the team continued to stitch together the different pieces of evidence, they slowly revealed the true scope of Kim's activity. He wasn't only connected to the origins of WannaCry, but also played a major role in the 2014 Sony attack, the 2016 Bangladeshi bank heist, and even attacks on the U.S. weapons manufacturer Lockheed Martin. Whoever Kim was, he was part of a massive web of devastating cyber attacks, but he was a complete mystery. However, one night, one of the FBI researchers found an email that would change everything. This email didn't belong to Kim, but to a gaming developer called Park Jin-hyuk, who had uploaded a zip file containing malicious files and granted shared access to several of Kim's emails. The connections finally culminated when they discovered that Park was in Dalian at the same time Kim was perpetrating his attacks from there. The FBI concluded that Kim was in fact Park's online persona, and as the authorities slowly located the precise location of his activities, they all pointed to the same place: a gaming company known as Chosen Expo. The authorities quickly investigated Chosen Expo, and to their surprise, they had contracted with a gaming developer who was none other than Park Jin-hyuk. Furthermore, he specialized in the programming language Visual C++, the language used to create the WannaCry malware. Chosen Expo's accounts would quickly enter the picture when the investigators found that not only were POC's accounts connected to cybercrime, but that most of the company's accounts were being used to carry out cyber attacks. The entire company seemed to be a front for some unknown elite cybercrime group, and as the investigations into Chosen Expo continued, it allowed investigators to finally put the pieces of the puzzle together. The group that operated from Chosen Expo would be identified as North Korea's top hacking department called Lab110, a secretive group whose members or front companies had never been revealed before. But it seemed that Lab110's main operations in Chosen Expo had concluded around 2014, when POC and several others traveled back to North Korea. Even stranger is that POC and his team hadn't been seen since then and most likely had been sent on another top-secret mission with new identities. Nonetheless, the discovery of Lab110 was a major win for the international cybercrime community, who finally got insights into North Korean cybercrime activity. But almost nothing is known about them since they are in fact a top-secret department of a highly paranoid country. This is because their operations are known only by a handful of people, mainly the group itself, and the leadership of Bureau 121, the faction that oversees North Korea's special hacking operations. In addition to this, they have an extremely harsh selection process that was revealed by a North Korean defector in 2013. Bureau 121 is always searching for young children that display extraordinary talent in math, and once they find them, they send them to the Kim Il-sung University and Kim Chek Universities of Technology, where they learn everything about hacking. But this is only the first step in their education. Every year, the 10 best students are enlisted in a top-secret education program that sends them to a special university in India to become lethal cyber soldiers. After years of training, only the best of the best get recruited by Bureau 121. Which then gives them new identities and designates them to specific teams, such as Lab110. Once they're assigned to their team, they are given contracts in secret North Korean front companies all around the world. Several of these fronts have been identified in Chinese border towns, but others have been located in Belarus, Malaysia, India, and Russia, where they can hide in the local online traffic and mask any connections to the North Korean mainland. And even though Bureau 121's teams are small, the U.S. estimates that since 2010, the department has grown from a few hundred elite hackers to over 6,000 in 2020. However, how many of these have really gone through the complete training is unknown. Nonetheless, with over 6,000 members and 5 people per group, there should be around 1,200 different cyber hacking cells all around the world. And to this date, only 6 of these cells have been identified. So even though North Korea is often displayed as a laughingstock because of their senseless threats, it seems that they are indeed becoming a major player in the depths of the cyber world. If you want to check out another wild story, check out this video right here. Video narrated by Eric Peabody.